peel, he's going to match it with his other hand, and he's going to twist, and there I go. Now you notice he combined both actions. The compression broke my balance. The Japanese call this kazushi, to break one's balance. And again, upsetting a person's balance is one of the critical keys to make many of the techniques in jiu-jitsu work effectively. The key ingredient in the martial arts is 1, get out of the way. 2, always keep your opponent off balance while you are always on balance. Now if we take the same basic technique, again this lapel grab, and I grab him with the left hand, well what's the outside? The first one he did was an outward wrist flex, an outside wrist flex. Well, what's the opposite of outward? Inward. So now he takes his hand, he reaches across, and now he's going to do an inside wrist flex. Now again, notice my arm automatically straightened. Now what he wants to do, you might sit there and say, well, Mr. Rebelo, you're a much bigger guy against him, and you'd be able to power out of that. What he's going to use leverage. He's going to use a direct pressure directly upon my wrist into my shoulder, and that in turn is going to break my balance. And he wants to keep my wrist high and my elbow low. And again, when he creates more pressure, go ahead, press in, boom, that's going to drop me. Now, could he at this point throw a kick or a strike at me? Easily, pow, right? Could kick me in the knee, kick me in the face with his left foot, any number of actions that could be done. Pow. But what he's going to do here, again, this is a restraining hold. This is an action if again, Andy were to grab me, again, I don't want to hurt him. I'm going, what are you doing? I don't want to do anything. Stop that. Be a nice guy. It's a wonderful passive alternative. So the person grabs me, I'm like, gosh, what are you doing to me? Yeah, every time I walk around. And you're able to dissuade what could be a volatile situation simply with a simple twist of the wrist. Now, again, the same scenario. If he can do it with one hand, he can do it with the other. So he reaches across, he peels, turns, compresses. In this case, he reversed his action. Remember, before we had you compress, then twist. Now we're having you twist, then compress. So here he grabs, he twists my wrist. Now again, can I reach him with my backhand? No. Could I kick him effectively if he puts direct pressure and compresses? Boom, no I can't. Because then when he puts the pressure on, the weight drops, and let's stay right there, let's reverse. We're going to do our little dance here. And what's going to happen if I try to kick him, the minute he puts pressure there, that drops my weight down to my feet and freezes me in that position. Again, I try to kick again, it's not happening. I bring that leg up, he's going to give me lightning. A sharp, explosive pain that's going to feel like a lightning bolt just went through me. And there you go. Thank you. Sir? So here, these simple movements, these simple maneuvers enable you to control, manipulate someone to the point where you can neutralize an attack fairly quickly. Another action we can use now is an arm bar. Now again, that precludes that the arm will be straightened like an iron bar. Now in this case, I grab Andy like so, and he's going to take that last movement we just showed you, the inside wrist flex, and he's going to turn, twist, and he's going to lock me here. Now at this point, instead of taking his other arm and matching the action, he's going to use his thumb and create the pressure, but now he's going to step up, and he's going to place his hand, and again, some of you martial artists will say, oh, just break the arm. You can always do that. But what he's going to do, he's going to place his arm slightly below the point of my elbow, and he's going to roll me. And he's going to roll the motion into an outside arm bar. Now again, I'm a pretty strong individual, so what's going to happen is I'm going to grab him here, he's going to do the wrist flex, boom, that straightens my arm, and he's going to go to press. Now he's going to press directly on, and I'm going to resist this. Go ahead, push. I can resist that. But if he goes below my elbow, okay, bring your arm, nope, meaning not below here, but here, underneath, and rolls from this point, the effect is much more dynamic. So again, watch, when he presses directly in, I can resist that fairly well, all things considered, depending on the amount of force generated. But if he goes beneath my elbow and rolls the muscle, as you can see, the effect is much more dynamic. And as you can see, he can easily step in. Could he strike or kick from that point? Of course he could. But you don't have to. That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu. It's the gentle alternative. So again, he grabs me in this instance, goes to grab my lapel, and I simply reach across, I peel, and he might try to be coming in with that elbow. I'm going, no, 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 don't hit me with that elbow. But here, if he's a very powerful individual and I try to push directly against it, he's a fairly strong man. So I have to go underneath and roll this. Notice how much more dynamic the effect was. And I really did not use a large amount of force. And that's really the beauty of jiu-jitsu. A small amount of force, a maximum amount of effort. A small amount of effort, large amount of effect. So, again, I grab here, he peels, he puts his arm underneath, rolls, boom, and down we go. And it seems such a subtle action, but it's so effective. Our next motion off that is going to be the inside arm bar. And again, this is a more subtle, diversified technique. It's a little more difficult to start. And we have a rule. We say, if you want to do an inside arm bar, start with an outside arm bar. So again, I'm here in the same scenario. I'm winding up to maybe punch him. He turns his hand. He starts to do that inside action, and then shoots his hand underneath, releases, locks, and re-grabs. And all he's doing is making a circle. He starts with an action, makes that initial motion to lock my arm, and then goes around, down, trap. Now, some of you may watch that action and say, oh, I could slip out of that, or I could fold my arm and do this or do that. Well, let me assure you, in jiu-jitsu, we specifically work on your reactions. We realize that just like you're thinking, I could counter that, I could do this, I could do that. In jiu-jitsu, we have a response for each one of those. Let's say in the course of the action, he goes to peel, and you're thinking to yourself, he's going to do that action, he's going to make the outside arm bar, and he's going to release, he's going to start to circle it, he's going to release, and you're saying right here, oh, I'm going to pull my arm out. Well, what he's going to do at that point, he's going to fold his arm, and he's going to catch it a little lower here. Instead of bringing it up to the shoulder, he'll catch it on the crook of the arm, and then he'll match that other hand, and when he does, he cranks. And I don't know if you could pick it up on the microphone, but that was my shoulder going tick. And it's amazing how when you try to resist an action, it actually feeds a subsequent action on the practitioner of jiu-jitsu. He'll have an answer for you. And sometimes he'll have 2 to 3 answers for you right off your response. And that's really the beauty of jiu-jitsu. That being said, those are some of the basic techniques that we teach as a foundation curriculum in jiu-jitsu. Now, with that, we also have specific techniques that work against specific types of attacks. And today we're just going to take one basic attack. We're going to take one basic attack, and maybe if we have time we'll do 2, but we're going to take one basic attack that's fairly commonplace. And the attack we're going to work on today is a bear hug. Now, when someone grabs you with a bear hug basically means, and Andy, if you'd be kind enough to face the camera, when a person attacks a person with a bear hug, they have a couple of basic options. You have a rear bear hug, you have a front bear hug. In this case, a rear bear hug, you can go over the arms, or you go under the arms. And again, why would a person use a bear hug? Well, a bear hug is used many times for control and restraint. If I'm standing here, let's say you're about to punch Andy's lights out and he doesn't see me behind him, I go, come on, Dom, come on, hit him, hit him, hit him, right? I'm trying to restrain him so my buddy can take a free shot at him. Another action would be perhaps I'm a person of larger, bigger stature, and I don't want to punch this person, but I want to get him out of the way. So I come up, I grab them, all right, come on, buddy, we're going, and I try to take him and move him about. I might be a wrestler, a grappler, and I might want to take this person to the ground. So I might do a shooting action under here, grab the person on the low line, pull him to the body, and literally lift him up and throw him down in a suplex action. This can be done to the rear or to the front. Again, turning this way, if I'm facing here, I can grab from the front like so, over the arms. I can shoot low underneath the arms. So how do I deal with defending myself against these various types of attacks? Remember, the main intention is control and restraint, or to take you off balance and throw you to the ground. So those are the main things we're going to cover in today's class.